Exactly. Hello and welcome everyone to Shifting Lanes Live, your mostly weekly podcast about all things automotive. My name is Chad, and with me, as always, is Mr. Gregson.
Me.
We have some topics of interest tonight, and Greg, how you doing, buddy?
I am good. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2026. Thankfully, 2025 is gone because that was a hell of a year, man. So we did really well shifting lanes wise, but it was a pretty crazy year otherwise. So I'm glad to see a new one, another trip around the sun, and hopefully this one is better for us, for you, for all of our viewers. Cheers to all you guys. But other than that, I'm doing okay. There are things happening in personal worlds
Yes.
that cost money. Maybe should I hit on that first?
Well,
Maybe?
since you so delightfully teased it, go for it.
So I have this now. For those that can't read, it says Jeep. And yeah, there's like a tag on it with a whole barcode, and yeah, it's great. So my wife's car, the XC90, got run into in a parking lot, and the long and short of it is, she was driving through the parking lot. Guy was sitting in a spot backed into it, and she made the turn around the corner to pull into the side of the building, and the guy just pulled out and going right into her. So her passenger side doors are all kinds of ruined. The trim pieces are gone from it. The rear passenger quarter panel definitely needs replacing, along with the wheel arch trim there. Front passenger quarter panel, I think, is okay, but I'm letting the body shop kind of deal with that. We also found out that there's a coolant leak for sure. I don't think it had anything to do with what is on the floor here that had like a slow drip. It looks like it's now like a full-on like leak. I think the bottle cracked. I have some coolant sitting next to me because we were driving it around after the little crash. But we got the quote back today. So, Chad, what do you think? Without me telling you what it was prior to that, because you know what it is. On a 2017 XC90, what would you have assumed 2 new passenger side doors, some trim, and some rear right quarter panel repair would have been?
Question: did the airbags deploy?
No airbags deployed. This was a like 15 to 10 mile an hour kind of thing. The guy literally just pulled out, and I think Kate may have just hit the gas instead of the brake because she was startled. So literally,
She did everything correct, and it was the other jack. Come on.
I mean, correct, but car runs into the side of you in a parking lot. I mean, you may like do this you may stab the gas a little bit, but guy pulled into the side of her car, and she kind of scraped. His front bumper is like a little messed up.
What was the other car?
It's a BMW 7 Series. So it's lower. Hit the lower part of the door.
Gotcha. So, no airbags deployed. It really all comes down to the fact of like, they're flat out replacing the doors, like the sheet metal's not getting saved.
As far as I know, yes, we still have to like talk to the body shop, but the quote came back. And I don't know the full specifics of it. I just know the final tally. So I'm imagining they're getting new doors.
Gotcha. I mean, number one, that basically means half the car has to be painted. When you consider like blending and all that.
Blending, yep.
The quarter panel, assuming it can be hammered out, with like a slide hammer and some welding. Hopefully, because replacing that is a humongous piece. And body shop time is just not. And like paint, that is huge. I would probably. I would probably say somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000, give or take.
I was gonna say probably between 4 and 5, or 5 to 6. So probably 4 to 6 was my guess. It's gonna cost 8. So 8,000. Thankfully, insurance is taking care of this. But here's something I didn't tell you. How long do you think that will take?
Probably 6 months.
No, 28 days.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that is not a lot of time.
Not
We
horrible.
used to, when I worked for Enterprise, and to those of you who aren't aware, Enterprise Rent-A-Car's like core business model is vehicle replacement. So people like Greg or Greg's wife need their car is in an accident. It's either totaled or they're going to fix it. They come to Enterprise and they get the insurance. They have insurance coverage. You have rental car replacement coverage, and that's their bread and butter. And it wasn't out of the ordinary to see 30, 40, 60 days sometimes, which was annoying because most people only have 30 days on their coverage. So they're like, it's not my fault it's taking this long. And I'm like, but your coverage is your coverage, and it's a whole thing. But like,
that was my next question. I got to look at the policy because I'm not sure how long we have this Jeep for. So I'm hoping it's more.
It'll be right on your policy documents. Most, if you don't specifically look for it, most policies will be like somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 a day for 30 days. Or it's somewhere between 20 and 40 days is the average of what it just defaults to.
Yeah, we have 50 a day.
Yeah. It's like, because even back like 15 years ago when I was at Enterprise, 30 a day for 30 days is not much.
No, you're looking at like a Corolla, maybe like a Yaris when they were around, or
your
Prius
right there,
size
like the
vehicle.
smallest possible car. I would also when you mentioned this to me a couple days ago, I totally wasn't thinking about it, but I am thinking about it now. They asked you to put a credit card down, right?
I believe so, yeah.
If you have an American Express card, that would be the card to put it on.
We don't.
The second thing about this, I know how this turned from Greg's wife got into an accident to me, like, but this is actual, like, this might be the most relevant consumer advice to anyone we've ever given. But knowing your policy on your insurance, like we talked about, is important because, but you also have to remember, if it's say $50 a day for 50 days, you're not guaranteed 50 and 50. You're guaranteed the money. And usually what happens is an adjuster approves it every week, every 10 days, 10 business days, etc. So if the body shop is not updating the insurance company will sit here and say, okay, well, our numbers say it should be done today. Greg, you're now on the hook for them, and it becomes a whole thing.
Yeah.
But number one, if you're doing this sort of stuff, don't ever put the deposit on a debit card. While you can do it, and they will refund the money, and if you're not hard up on cash, it's not a big deal. It gives you no side benefits.
Right.
I would honestly, when you're checking your coverage with your car insurance, I would check whatever credit card it was that you used.
It's just our Chase Visa, so I think it's pretty just like any normal credit card. We definitely didn't use a debit card. We never use a debit card when we're asked to put like a credit card down.
But it used to be pretty much just American Express, and some other cards were sort of creeping into this. But a lot of credit cards have rental car coverage as part of your credit card policy. So like American Express, they'll cover the first, I forget what the exact number is. It's been a while. But like, for example, they might cover the first $5,000 of any damage, God forbid something happened to the rental car. So at the very worst, it's going to cover a little bit of the repair, but worst case, it covers your deductible as well. And everything. Real quick, we have Dusty in chat on Facebook, all the way from Kodiak Island, Alaska. Dusty, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. We'll touch on some New Year's topics later on in the show, but from Alaska. That makes you officially our first Alaska viewer.
Yeah.
So,
welcome.
Congratulations. Thank you for tuning in. And then we have Doug, the Grand Admiral of the Imperial Shifting Lanes Navy is in chat. Good evening, my friend. Welcome back. Always good to have Doug here.
Welcome back. We back, baby. New year, new Doug. Let's go.
if you've been following, Doug's has some really exciting stuff going on in his life at the moment. I'm not going to share. It's personal information, but Doug, I just want to know from a distance, I've been watching what you're doing, and good on you, buddy. Good luck with everything on that. He goes, my policy is just to own more cars. I'm not convinced it's cheaper than buying a better policy.
I mean, that's been your policy since forever, my guy. So do not stop having that be your policy. Make that your policy forever. It's a good policy.
And we also have Sean in chat. Welcome,
up,
my friend.
As always.
But yeah, I mean that's part of, if you own a car and you manage to, and you're like us, and more importantly, you're like us and manage to survive to our age, accidents are unfortunately part of life. It sucks because I know that you were going to try to sell or trade in that car in the not too distant future.
Yeah.
So the value has sort of diminished.
That's gone. Like for whatever money we were gonna get, it's basically halved now. So that's great.
Which means I think it's time you got a sports car and Kate just had to deal with it.
I mean, to be honest with you, the right family decision would be to sell the Polestar and get a new car for Kate, and I would just run that thing into the ground. I know, but the plus side of that would be I have no car payment. Kate would have a smaller car payment, and I could potentially get a second car. So that is a potential option. I'm not saying it's sports car is off the table.
I mean, to be fair, counterpoint. Your car is an automatic.
True.
It is all-wheel drive.
Yes.
It has space for kids and stuff.
It does.
Kate gets the Polestar.
I mean, she doesn't hate the car. She doesn't
even
like
if
it.
you
She doesn't hate it.
and this is everyone. I want you to brace yourselves, because what I'm about to say is arguably the most un-Chad thing to ever be uttered in the history of this podcast.
Oh man. Oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Kate gets the Polestar. You return it to stock, so it's not as loud. So it reduces some of the noise.
Fine.
So you reduce some of that noise, vibration, and harshness. So it's a little bit of a nicer daily car for her to drive. Even though, I mean, she's married to you, she should like pops, bangs, and a straight six screaming with a not at all too small turbo.
Damn straight.
Plot twist: she drives the Polestar. The first thing she does is put a bigger turbo on it. Without you knowing.
It's like secret car nerd, and I'm like, how could you?
Turns out she's been sitting on it for like one of your big anniversaries, like your 10 year or your 15 or something.
She and Chad are in cahoots. Like, this has been the plan all along.
If only for that, I need to start talking to Kate more. But like, and even if you do that, will smaller wheels fit on your car and clear the brakes?
Yeah.
So you give her a little bit
19s as winters.
So you give her a little bit smaller sidewall, or a little bit smaller wheel with a little bit more sidewall, so it's more comfortable. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, she's the most interesting mom at every event.
Literally, yes. Then what do I get?
And then at that point, that frees you up to do something interesting.
Forerunnery with a lift.
I mean, whatever it is, I will support you. I shouldn't say whatever, mostly. Because let's face it, if anyone who spent any number of time watching this show, everything, you know that I will be extremely opinionated on whatever he goes for.
Right. Unless it's something that you yourself want to build. In which case, you would just be opinionated in the sense of, "Ooh, let me help you. Let's do these things." And other than that, you'd be like, "No, you shouldn't have done that."
Yeah. So, but I mean, look. At the end of the day, you have a wife, you have a kids. Your wife is going to be Your wife drives the kids the majority of the time, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Actually, it's me, to be honest, because I usually take them to school and bring them home from school. But for the most part, it's me during the week, and then she does more of it on the weekend. Yeah.
But I mean, as long as she's comfortable in it, and not for nothing, I'm just going to put this out there. You are not a tall group of people.
No.
Polestar, easier to get in and out of.
It is, yeah. It's to our benefit, though. I mean,
bring her in here. I'm going to convince her of this.
I honestly don't mind not being tall, honestly, to be quite frank, just because I fit into everything. Like, I fit into a Miata very comfortably. I fit into supercars very comfortably. And I don't feel like, like big 4Runners or big Chevy Tahoes are like too big for me, other than like it's a little hard to step up into. But with a running board, it's just fine. But I also, have been driving cars since forever. So I don't feel like anything's like too, like I'm not too small. But I know like so many people are like 6 foot plus and they like, I can barely fit into my Porsche 911. And I'm like, that's a big first world problem there, buddy. I don't feel bad for you.
Oh, my massaging seat stopped working.
Yes. Also go watch the reel we just posted before this.
Well, I will say this. I personally have a problem with you being too short. The amount of times I've gone to get in a car after you have driven it and driven my kneecap directly into the dashboard because your seat is so close to the damn.
That sounds like you problem. I got no problems. Great.
I'm just sitting here like, how does Greg drive with his head through the steering wheel? Like, I'm trying to figure, like, my mother doesn't even sit that close to the car.
I just like, I like feeling like a cockpit, very NASCAR. Yeah. Arms very close.
Well, I guess the upshot to it is if your kids are somehow miraculously tall, they'll have a ton of leg room in the back seat.
Disclaimer, I do not drive on top of my steering wheel. Let's just be honest.
It's close.
I'm short. I also have short arms. Like I don't have giant arms.
As a point of reference, I am only 5'9".
Yeah.
So if I'm getting into a car and feeling like, my God, like.
Well, think about it this way. That's 1.5 inches on either side of you in wingspan. That is longer. And when you think about it in car terms, 1.5 inches of hip room, shoulder room, arm room, head room. That's a significant amount of room inside the interior cabin of a car. So when you're talking about 3 inches of height and
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Yeah, nope. Moving on. No, 3 inches of height and 1.5 inches of wingspan on either side. That's a significant actual amount of distance or of space. Quite frankly, like 1.5 inches of wingspan and 3 inches of legroom is the difference between a compact and a mid-sized car.
So you're a compact car, is what you're saying.
It's significant. Yes, in a compact car, you're a mid-size.
Get him. Dusty, you are now my favorite Alaskan.
Oh, no. What did Dusty say?
He goes, get him a car seat or a booster seat.
All right, Dusty, fair play. Really, really good burn. I have to tell you what Kate said about. So for this thing, we have, like I said, we have the Jeep for the car. That's our thing. Kate had, which is my wife's name. She had the single best thing about what it's like driving a Jeep, and I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible.
She has a sudden urge to buy all of the rubber ducks.
No. Here we go. So she gets into the Jeep. She's driving it for about half a day. And she goes, also, Jeeps are ridiculous. Specifically this kind. Absolute Napoleon complex of cars. Made to make you feel above everyone else. I feel like I'm sitting on a phone book in a sardine can. And I'm like, that's so perfect. That's exactly what it feels like driving a Wrangler. Like the car seat made me think of that. I'm just like, oh, I could use a phone book. Oh man, that's a great thing, Kate said. Fair play. I would still buy a Wrangler. I love them. They're cool.
Yeah, they're that car or that truck or that correct, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
Wranglers like so many other things will kind of always be cool.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and if you want like a nicer Wrangler, just buy a Bronco. It's sort of the same thing, just nicer.
Yeah, but you can get a Wrangler with a V8.
That's true. And that is the reason why I would go Wrangler.
Steve goes, Chad, you're slightly taller than Greg. Like I said, like I replied to you in chat, that's why it's all the more infuriating. It's not like I'm sitting here and I like talk to Greg like this. Like, how's the weather down there, buddy? What's going on? I'm not that much taller than Greg, but when I get in the car, it honestly feels like one of his kids stole the car and like slid everything close to it as possible. Like,
yeah.
Again, I'm busting chops, but again, my kneecaps have suffered the wrath of Greg's shortness.
Again, that sounds like a you problem.
I'm gonna cut you.
But yeah, so car crashed, not totaled. We'll be able to use it again. Should be fine. Got to look at the estimate, see what's what. But the back right wheel definitely was a little off kilter. So I don't know if it's a vent control arm or a alignment thing. But either way, hopefully in the next month we'll get the car back. It'll drive fine, and we'll just take it from there, and we'll get rid of this Jeep. But yeah, that's the funsies in personal land. Great.
Doug goes, I had a client buy a booster seat by mistake, thinking it was something Volvo offered for short adults. Was it you who sold Greg the Polestar?
Ha ha ha! Shut up.
Sean goes, I thought that's what it feels like driving an F-150. Really? I didn't get cavernous, like, what have you, driving full. I love. Good job, Steve. Because you helped with the. I love full size trucks. I am a big fan, and we are definitely, obviously, if you've seen the thumbnail, we are definitely talking about that. Just
good transition to what we should be talking about next.
Dusty goes, I'm 5'10" and about 300 pounds, so I agree. I'm at the big but boy. Not too big, but bigger than most. Bigger than most.
Big boy, bigger than most.
That's how my dating profile starts. It's also probably not why.
Bigger than most.
It's also probably another reason why, yet to this date, single as the day is long. I don't know if that makes sense, but
that's such a great way to just say I'm above average. That's right, bigger than most. Let's go.
It's like the tiger at what's it called? Call. TPC Sawgrass. Better than most. Better than most.
That's right. That was the was that the shot on 17?
Yeah, the right. Snaking putt of destiny.
Yes, that's right.
But so again, you've seen the thumbnail.
Yes.
So you all have an idea on what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yes.
So let me just pull up.
Big trucks. Sunday.
Ram trucks.
If
you don't like this truck,
screw you.
Yes. Good save.
If you don't like this truck, go F yourself.
Steve goes, maybe don't post your Mustang on the dating app. That's just not going to happen.
That's the whole profile, Steve.
Because eventually Eventually, I go to pick them up in said Mustang. Advertise what you got.
That's right.
And not for nothing, if they don't like the Mustang.
Yeah. If you're not a car person, we're not going to even start.
If you don't eat Big Red, then fuck you.
What is that from?
The outtakes of Talladega Nights.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And then he goes. That's right when he goes into like that, like prune candy.
Yeah, or it's like, what is it? The official maxi pad of NASCAR.
Oh my god, I'll be honest, those are some of the best outtakes. And
when John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell are just let off the cuff and
so
just to riff and do improv, it's some of the funniest stuff. Like when they're sitting there doing the dinner scene or whatever.
Sweet, unborn, newfound, fetile baby Jesus.
It's so good.
So good. Oh my god. I freaking love that movie. It's so funny.
And Doug goes, my wife wanted to meet me because I had a grabber blue Mustang at the time. Haha, suck failure, Steve.
There you go. Nailed it.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake. Also, Grabber Blue, great color on Mustangs.
Makes me want to grab. I mean, what?
Makes me want to grabber you.
Ha! And we're demonetized. Still haven't figured out why, like, the last show we did just got randomly whacked with a demag.
Who knows? Too much swearing. I don't know. My face. I don't know. Meta gonna meta.
At any rate, Ram has officially announced 2 new pickup trucks, and the one that's probably, I shouldn't say probably, the one that is getting the most attention is this one.
Not the one you think.
Well, it is the one you think because it's the TRX.
Oh, well, I've seen more on the other one. That's why I answered that way.
Yeah, because I incessantly send you links about it.
No, it's because I've actually seen more articles on it, like actively.
Right, but I'm willing to bet that you clicked the link I sent to you of it before seeing any of the new Ram trucks. So now your algorithm thinks you like it.
Probably. That's probably it. Algorithm gonna algorithm.
But, so, here are the highlights. It is a 6.2 liter supercharged V8. Duh. Thank God, because, you know, there was a chance there for a minute we were going to get some sort of hurricane version of a TRX. And as Ford learned, the V6 in their sort of pre-runner street truck thing is people don't run to the dealership for them. However, it is an upgraded version of the Hellcat power plant, this time making a girthy 777 horsepower, 680 pound-feet of torque, which is simply adorable, as we'll get to. It gets to 60 on pavement in 3.5 seconds. I honestly think for these trucks, they should post the 0 to 60 on dirt.
That would be actually sweet.
Like, it would make more sense to me. Like, it's like, if you're buying this truck because of its 0 to 60 on asphalt, I understand these things are going to spend 98%, 99% of their lives on asphalt. But you get it because of the off-road prowess. Whether you use it or not is that.
Yeah.
It has 13 inches of suspension travel.
Which is a lot.
And I will say this. Number one, this is just another example of the turnaround that Stellantis has kind of figured out that, holy crap, turns out when we were branded as the muscle car brand, for especially in the Dodge and Ram space for so long, and we removed the muscle. People didn't like it and stopped buying our cars. As you did in another video, people are just not buying a shit ton of Stellantis vehicles.
They really aren't.
So, obviously, this is what we hope. This is the first and what we hope and can dare to assume is a long line of return to the Hellcat.
Yeah.
So, hopefully a Charger Hellcat down the road, et cetera, et cetera. Greg, as someone who said that they would buy an overlanding 4Runner.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the new TRX?
I mean, I'm super glad that it's back in V8 guys because, like you said, if I'm buying a full-size pickup, there's a reason I'm buying the full-size pickup. It's not to be fuel conscious. It is to be able to haul shit, to be able to sit tall and shit on the road, and it is to make lots of good noises and shit. So, like, V8 full-size pickups are just a thing. And it's not like it's like, oh, this is Americana, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, they just go hand in hand, in my opinion. For car guys, for truck guys, whatever, V8s and full-size pickups is like a match made in heaven. It's like the BMW M3 and an inline six. I feel like if the M3 ever did a different engine in that car, it would be absolute sacrilege. So, like,
he says having the only BMW M3 he's ever owned being a V8, but continue.
Well, correct, yes, but that was unique, and also they upgraded it and didn't put a 4 in it. But, like,
good job, Mercedes.
Yeah, pot shot at the AMG clan over there. Get out of here.
But it's got a really fancy and technologically advanced turbocharger. And
nobody cares. Put a V8 in it. Shut up.
Hold on. Let me just double check my notes here. Yeah, not one single person gave one solitary fuck about that.
Exactly. So, but yeah, like, I'm so glad that the TRX is back. And look, credit where credit's due. RHO, cool, great. Fast pickup. But again, 6s don't sell in big pickups, especially in performance big pickups. V8s do. And you know what? Here's the other thing. The V6 is no slouch. It is very quick.
Straight 6.
Straight 6. The straight 6, we don't care about performance in big trucks like that. We care about the sound. We care about how it makes us feel. We care about the way that the car or the truck is, the simplicity of it. Like, to me, the TRX, the F-150 with the 8, Raptor, the Raptor R V8, anything like that with the V8 in it. That's what a big performance cool pickup's supposed to be. And it doesn't even have to be the performance variant, but just like a pickup with a V8 that isn't a diesel. It deserves a V8, really does. So I'm stoked. I'm excited about the TRX. I love it. I can't wait to potentially drive it maybe this year. That'd be awesome. If not next year, that'd be very cool. But I will say one thing. I am actually more excited for the diesel.
And because you've so ilkily smooth transitioned into it, the other truck...
Transition.
I wish that was a thing. I could just press a button.
It's so good.
I mean, let me rephrase that. It is absolutely a thing. I just haven't set it up.
That's your 2026 goal. Make a diddly-doo transition for us.
The other truck they've recently announced is even bigger.
Yes. More Enormotron.
So for a lot of people, if you wanted a TRX but couldn't really afford it, you usually went for like the Power Wagon. It was available in the 1500, and they even offer it as a trim level in the 2500. I've had the pleasure of driving a slightly lifted 2500 Power Wagon. Loved absolutely every moment of it. I've driven a normal 2500 or what have you. They're just great vehicles. They're comfortable. They got everything you want. And let's face it, if you put a bull bar on one and some metal bumpers and stuff, the fuck cares? Right? Like, who cares? But the Power Wagon in the 2500s always felt a little bit weird because it did have the Hemi. It had the 6.4 liter Hemi. It was a good engine, made a decent amount of power, probably more power than you ever needed, or what have you. And let's face it, they make supercharger kits for it, so you could have gotten it. However, an engine option in the normal 2500s is the 6.7 liter Cummins straight 6, which I always thought would make a really cool Power Wagon, and apparently someone at Ram agreed, because that's what you're looking at. You can see the little C there. That denotes that this is a... Ooh, excuse me. This is off... Just going to point out for a quick second. This is off of Ram's media site, and they sent a blurry image. Anyway.
Stellantis gonna Stellantis.
Yeah, they just can't help themselves. Now, look, I understand that a lot of these things with the Cummins in them, they have their own little separate issues about all things little diesel-y stuff. However, I think this is cool. It is unique. It has enough ground clear, or I shouldn't say ground clear. It has enough suspension travel. It has trim-specific Bilstein monotube shocks with an electronic disconnecting sway bar. This thing has really short approach and departure angles, so when you are off-roading this, well, we'll just be honest, small house of a vehicle, you could do it pretty, I don't want to say easily, but you get the idea. And where the Cummins comes into play is It only makes 430 horsepower, which is a lot, but not a lot, if you catch my meaning. However, it does make 1,075 pound-feet of torque.
Yeah, diesel gonna diesel. That's why I'm more excited, because V8's cool. Sound great. Diesels literally could rip stumps out of the ground without even trying.
Yeah. And, oh, I have a picture. Hold on. There we go.
I had a thing for this.
I prepared myself for this that I almost forgot. So here's the thing, though. Usually when you lift a vehicle, your towing capacity or ability goes down just because of the way the suspension works, etc., squat, all that other sort of stuff. However, the 2027 Ram Power Wagon with the Cummins turbo diesel is built to haul everything from ATVs and side-by-sides to bed storage systems with drop-in campers and trailers. The Towing Technology Group and Tow Technology Plus Group expand on the Ram's 2500's innate capability for even more confident towing experience. What that all equates to is you can have 30,000 pounds of payload capacity in the bed or tow 20,000 pounds behind you.
That's a lot different. 20,000 is a lot.
So, when shifting lanes racing becomes an actual thing, you will know, because chances are this is going to be my tow rig and daily driver, because it's awesome. And again, it's just one of those things with a present. You put a bull bar on this, metal bumper, the rollover, the hilariously named rollover bar with the lights on the top. That the thing weighs over 6,000. I think it's close to 7,000 pounds with this particular trim.
Rolling over, that bar ain't doing shit.
The good news is it would. We just hope it's made out of some otherworldly material.
Unobtainium.
Yeah. We've made this roll bar out of Wolverine skeleton.
Ah, yes, the good old adamantium roll bar. Needed.
But this is, and I'll kind of close on this because I kind of want to get like your thoughts on it as someone who would probably need a stepladder to get into it.
Yep, definitely.
Although Ram, and I'm sure all the other full size, but Ram seems to do it the best. Ram does offer extendable running boards, so that when you open the door, the boards come down, so it's easy to get in and out of. But
I need that option.
To give you guys an idea of, like, one of my best friends in the world daily drove a Ram 2500. It is one of those things where, like, I needed to get momentum to get up and into it.
Yeah.
And she's like 5'5" at her tallest, and she had no problem whatsoever. But going back to it, this is a sentiment I haven't had about anything Stellantis. But, like, these two trucks are, again, showing that they now get it. And they're pivoting, and it gives me hope that they're going to
get it again. Because they had it. And then
they had it, and then they lost it, and now they're pivoting back towards it.
Yeah, good.
But until I see what they do with the Charger or whatever the muscle car, I honestly think that they should distance themselves from the Charger and Challenger nameplate and just reintroduce something like a Barracuda or something. Just give it a different name. Let the Charger, Challenger, Hellcat era be back there, and let's move on to a new era. And we won't pay attention to the era where we tried to convince everyone that an electric muscle car is what you actually wanted, because it wasn't.
Yeah, that's the future. It's e-muscle. Nobody asked for this.
And Steve, who left for the entirety of the conversation, goes, "I'm back. Do they have a Hemi? If not, not interested."
Yes, that's
Steve,
what you missed.
Steve, yes, because how I started this was the Power Wagon and the 2500 always used to come with the 6.4 liter Hemi. Now they're offering it with the 6.7 liter Cummins turbo diesel, and I has the Excite.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that being said, I'd 100% take a Power Wagon with the Hemi in it, and however, I would be slapping a supercharger onto that real quick.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because I'm me, and I just...
Yes.
Now,
Yeah, I'll take that 470 horsepower all the way up to 530. All right.
I mean, you probably get well over 6, but in any
No,
rate,
I know. I'm screwing with you. Just because diesels are so down on horsepower.
Doug
But
goes, you can make a
would have-
hemispherical 6 or 4-cylinder for that matter. Fun fact, pretty much any car with 4 valves per cylinder is a hemispherical combustion chamber.
Yes.
Not to get into the deep weeds or deep waters of the technical aspect of it. But no, like, but here's the thing. So if you fully option out the Power Wagon, you're getting close to $100,000. The TRX starts at 102. We'll call it $103,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, assuming you've gone into Bizarre World and woke up out of bed, got down off of your step stool, and immediately tripped into a Scrooge McDuckian vault filled with money,
Yes.
which of these two are you taking and why?
How much is the diesel again?
It starts at 88,000.
Okay.
But if you go for like the towing packages and stuff, you're going to be getting pretty dang close to the 100K. It's still not going to be as expensive as the TRX,
Right.
but it's going to be a spicy meatball. If that's
So, for my purposes, the TRX makes a lot more sense, just because we don't need the towing capacity. Really, we don't tow things, nor would we probably ever. And if we did, it would be a very small trailer. So the TRX would be more than capable of handling like a small, RV style camper that I would tow. I'm more excited for the diesel because diesels at the end of the day with their torque monsterness are super fun to watch at the strip just because they sound hilarious and they are biblically fast when they rightfully shouldn't be. So like I'm more excited for that one to just see them around. But for me, I would, if they're going to be comparable in price, I would go for the TRX just because it's got the cool V8 noises. I don't need the torque and the towing capacity, so TRX would be my natural choice.
yeah. I mean, like I said, the TRX is kind of my favorite of that pre-runner style
Same.
OEM truck. The only thing that gives me pause is anything with a Hellcat is immediately makes you a target for a theft, and
Yes.
apparently it's really easy to steal Hellcats. Like it's
It is.
effectively the foundation on which the Scrap Life channel was founded.
Yep.
So like, because they could just get them at auction and it's a theft car. You fix a few things here and there, and it pretty much works just like it did out of the factory. But there's something about, I don't know if it's just because we're desensitized to it, because the Hellcat has been in literally anything Mopar could shove it into that they got corporate approval for. But the Cummins is just, I know the Cummins comes with a whole host of issues. I know there's things you need to change on them. I think they addressed them or what have you. But I do have friends who have a Cummins and a 2500 who've had issues and that. All that
Oh my God, you have friends? That's incredible.
Breaking news. Or what have you. But there is just something innately cool about having that off-road vehicle
Yeah.
with a big Cummins. I mean, let's face it, right? You have literally almost a ton of engine up front. So like you're not
Yeah,
going to be
that's true.
you're not going to be say really pushing it hard off-road. But just having, I don't know, it's there's something about it that's new and different, and it's like I get down with that. I really get down with that.
Cool. It's that cool factor, it's the same story of just like I'll go back to the M3, go back to the E9X platform of M3. You know, that the twin turbo. What's the engine that was in the twin turbo sixes from the one that Hansen had? Was it N58 or N55 or S55? Whatever that twin turbo engine was in the E9X platform, everyone was like raving about it. You could build it. It had a ton of different accessories to it. You could get great power out of them. But at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, but it's not the M3. Yeah. And then it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the TRX. It's just like, big V8 trucks, cool. Cummins diesel, cool. It's not the TRX. The TRX just has that we always talk about. It has that it factor.
Well, the best thing about oftentimes, if you go down and you look at the history of some of the greatest vehicles ever to be produced, or the stuff you really, really want, 9 times out of 10, it's the vehicles that are actually objectively worse day to day, right?
Yeah.
Take the Raptor, take the TRX. They're fantastic at going fast off-road, but they have less payload capacity, they have less towing capacity. As a truck that most people use to do truck things, it's objectively worse. However, the cool factor, it's like, it's compromised. It doesn't do everything well. But the one thing it does do well, it does better than almost anything else on the planet, and that's why I love it.
Yeah.
It's like the backseat in a Mustang.
Yeah.
Totally useless. Although you probably fit with room to spare.
I can say I am not that short.
True. But Corvettes, like all this sort of stuff, and I actually did want to touch on Corvette because I made a reel about it, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. But it's just, there's something about the cars that are one singular vision are oftentimes the best, right? Like the Porsche 911, it's designed to be the best sports car on the planet. And the best versions of the 911 have that singular focus. Mustangs blend the world of muscle car and sports car. They're more on the sports car side of things. The only thing that prohibits them from being a true blue 100%, no doubt, I will take no arguments on it, sports car, is the fact that they're slightly heavier than what a sports car should be. However, it handles the weight so well that you forget it's, almost 2 tons.
True.
Why were Hellcats successful in the first place? They were completely useless. They were on a 20-year-old chassis. They didn't do anything particularly well, except for make really cool noises and go fast as hell in a straight line. And they were time machines that transported people back to the 60s in a that they could also hook up CarPlay to.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a factory resto mod.
I wouldn't say resto mod because it's not
mentally,
but it's like
because you get the old school feel of modern shit.
It's if you took that, it's as if you took the ethos of this muscle car of the '60s, picked it up, and then dropped it into the 2010s.
Yeah, it's not a true resto mod, but that's sort of what I mean. It's like it's the mentality aspect.
And they were boats. They could handle, but you also when you were in the middle of a corner, you constantly had Isaac Newton tapping on your shoulder, like, I'm going to show up soon, so be careful.
Yes.
But to this point, the 5.7 liter TA version of the Challenger, it had a little over 400 horsepower. It only revved to 5,900 RPM. It wasn't the fastest thing in the world. It wasn't this, but it checked all of the boxes that was like, I'm in a time machine. I'm in the 60s. I'm in the muscle cars heyday. And that's why the Challenger was so beloved. Also, why people wanted to string pretty much everyone at Stellantis up by their toenails when they launched the current generation of them. Because it's so, like we've talked about ad nauseum, so no car. I shouldn't say no car without having done the requisite research, but I guarantee you it's in the top 5 of all cars all time to so completely miss the point with their consumer base.
Yes. Very much yes.
That it's definitely the number one in the last 20, 25 years.
I'd say this century for sure.
Oh, yeah, it has been 25 years in this century. Fuck, I'm old.
Yeah, we're in 2026 now, bitch.
Oh, God.
There's so many years.
2026.
There's a lot. There's numbers. It's annoying.
We are only a year away from being a quarter century out of fucking high school.
Yup. That's
God.
weird.
That's so...
It's fine. I'm like a fine wine. I'm getting better with age. That's the way I like to think about it. Although I am also thinking I might be aging like cheese. So there's lots of mold and smelliness. So, well, whatever.
But soon you'll be... Yeah, but soon you'll be blue cheese and everybody will want you on their extremely healthy in vogue salad.
But that... Isn't that how life goes? It's like, ooh, this is great. 30s and 40s suck. Everyone wants you again. You're the blue cheese. you have that like 10 to 20 year gap where you're just like, oh, I'm that shitty smelly cheese that everyone thinks that they like, and they sort of have at parties, and you kind of have it. And you're like, oh yeah, I think I'm cool by eating this, but in reality, this cheese sucks. And then you get to the good cheese like 20 years later. Yeah, I'm in that dip now. As soon as I hit 50, I'll just be like, oh yeah, he's cool again. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. Just wait.
I mean, my knees definitely feel old. Like my brain doesn't, like, I'm still probably at the mental age of a 16-year-old.
Yep, samesies.
But fucking hey, my knees. Whew.
Yeah, dude, my lower back's the same way now. I stand for too long and my legs start to like go numb. I'm like, oh, cool. I need a chiropractic adjustment. I'm 41 now. This is great. Love it. Stoked.
So we have Tony, in chat. Welcome, my good sir. Steve, are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Yes. Tony, I did assume Steve V was, in fact, Steve V. Dun, 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 dun. More you know. Doug goes, I went to MEPs 20 years to the week after my first time through. MEPs, elaborate for Greg. He obviously doesn't know what it means. I do, but for Greg's sake. I realized most of the kids there were not born the last time I was at that place. Yeah, that is...
Oh, damn. Damn!
What was it? I'm actually going back to my old high school in... what's today's date? In about a month to talk to the baseball team. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm pretty stoked on it. It's like... And in my head... I'm still like 5-6 years out of college, so I'm like, no, there's not that too much. And then it's just like, wait a minute, every single one of you could have been the
offspring.
Like, I could easily be all of your. Oh, damn.
The illegitimate love child of baseball's past.
Well, the two biggest scares I had when I was 19. Well, actually, fuck, they'd be 23. At any rate, I don't. Doug goes, MEPs, Greg, pay attention. Greg goes, MEPs are medical check for the military. Gotcha.
Okay. There we go.
See, now you know. But, and then I was like thinking, oh man, all these, like, I was like, wait a minute. Every single one of these kids has a birth date that starts with a 2. And then I'm talking,
terrible.
And I'm talking to the coach. And he's like, yeah, I graduated in like 13. I've been out of the game for a minute.
Minute? I'm 7 years past that, motherfucker. Like,
motherfucker, I have pubes older than you.
Jesus. Oh, God. This fucking guy. This fucking... 13, I've been out of the game for a minute. You shut your hole.
Tony goes, sure, Chad. We know you have your V card still. It's okay.
40-year-old virgin. Oh, yeah. Also, yeah.
I don't really know where to go with that, so I'm going to take a quick break, and Greg is going to regale you with
I'm going to regale you with the first time I lost mine. That's going to be a good time. Also, no, I'm not going to tell you that at all. It's going to be not that.
It was a cold Pennsylvania evening. The first snow had just fallen over an eerily quiet State College, Pennsylvania. I first saw Greg first saw the glimmer of this perfect I'm out.
Oh, Chad, you had such a way with words until you stopped. It was great. Oh my God! Fun fact: Chad actually had a hand in getting me my first girlfriend that got me laid. So that's cool. And now we are definitely demonetized. Yeah, let me bring up chat here real quick, just because. Oh no, I'm on my phone, so I'm trying to bring it up, and now it's just gone. Cool. Thanks, Meta. Good job. Well done. Here we go. Oh, there it is. There it is again. Finally. I like when I have something up on my phone that I'm looking down. So when I'm looking down or look, I'm not paying attention. I'm actually paying attention because I have chat up on my phone. So when I'm doing this, and then this is such a pet peeve of mine. When you're off your phone for I don't know, sometimes it's 7 minutes, sometimes it's 5 seconds, and then you go back to a different app and it totally just it's not shut down, but it just resets. I literally my phone went just black for a second, it went dead. It shut off like normal phones do, and I went back in and it immediately just cut out and reset everything. So great. Cool. Great. That's great. Awesome. MEPS, medical check for the military. Okay, that's where I'm coming back in. Sean, my eyes feel odd after taking the VR off and coming back to the live normally. Wait, you're watching this in VR? Wait, neither of us are attractive enough for you to be watching any of this in VR. If you're watching this in VR, 1, that's actually really cool. 2, what are you doing, Sean? Don't do that. Watch on a normal screen only. Don't VR this. This is not a VR face. Chad in my face, not for VR. We don't need high definition or extreme close-up, Wayne's World style. Second Wayne's World reference of the stream. Oh my God. Yes. Dude, don't watch us in VR. What are you doing? I'm sure you have a really cool, Meta Quest or whatever the hell it is. Don't watch us in VR. Watch on a freaking computer or your phone or something like that. I don't need you to see what my pores are doing. I'm 41 years old with freaking crow's feet and shit. You don't need to be seeing me in virtual reality where you can zoom into my face. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. Oh, Tony, it's 500-inch Shifting Lanes personal theater podcast. Fucking hell. Yeah, it's that's the whole reason I got the garage painted white. So I could just do giant freaking, podcast or movie watching scenario. No, we don't need that. We don't need this in giant freaking IMAX. We don't need that. Personal IMAX. That's what VR is. You don't need that. You don't freaking need that. God damn. Just want to see if I could. Never. Just want to see if I could. Never asked if I should. That pretty much sums it up. He pretty much nailed that. Oh, that's so good. Oh, goddamn. That's really funny though. I want to turn off captions. Hang on. I got to turn off closed captions off. Oh, God, that's so much better. Now I can actually see chat in a proper way. Let me put this up here. This is my second screen now. Perfect. There we go. Done. All right, sweet. So, back to chat. I literally found a MetaQuest 2 under a pile of trash today. Wait. All right. That is a comment that is so out there and off the rails. I have to know the story because now we've gotten Shifting Lanes old guy podcaster face in your face with the MetaQuest. But I hope that it was like, I hope it was at your house. I hope that you didn't just go like dumpster diving for this fucking MetaQuest 2. And 2, why is there a MetaQuest 2 under a pile of trash at all? Like, nothing like, Chad goes, nothing like putting something you find in a pile of trash on your face. So accurate. Yeah, I know. I'm sure it was probably in a box, but all I can imagine now is just like a loose MetaQuest 2 under a pile of trash that you just like, let's look at this, and you put it on your actual face. That is just like this fucking soupy, disgusting mess from this pile of trash. Oh, Jesus Christ. I cannot tell a lie. I put that MetaQuest 2 under all that garbage. Oh my God. Sean's pink eye is loading. Oh my God, dude, chat is this might be the funniest chat after Chad's exit yet. That's so good. All right, what pile of trash was this thing under? And why are you wearing it on your face? I mean, other than watching us, which, by the way, Sean, kudos to you. Love you, dude. That's awesome that you're watching us on your VR headset. 2, why are you putting this on your face? All right, I surveyed an abandoned pawn shop last week, and I'm helping the new owner clean the place out. And it was in its box under 3 feet of old cardboard. All right. Okay, so 3 feet of old cardboard is not garbage. When you say garbage or trash, that means it was in a can or under actual trash. I'm picturing like garbage bags, half open with food and shit spilling out. 3 feet of cardboard is recyclables, and usually that's pretty clean. That is, I mean, yes, it's garbage to be recycled, but that is not a pile of trash. I went aggressive with the rubbing alcohol and Dawn Power Wash. Hey, I mean, look, if it was in the box under a mountain of cardboard, that's about as good as you can ask. So huge thumbs up for that find. That's sick. Doug goes, we came to a side road, and off the side road there was another 15-foot cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff there was another pile of garbage. And we decided that one big pile is better than the 2 little piles. And rather than bring that one up, we decided to throw ours down there. I mean, when in Rome, when you need to, just do it. Oh my God, that's freaking hysterical. Sean, I'm more respect for you now than I did previously that you're watching. That's just freaking phenomenal. That is a Shifting Lanes Garage, Shifting Lanes podcast lore story now. That it shall be written, it shall be done, that everyone that watches us needs to watch us in VR at least once now. That's the thing that needs to happen, just because that's funny. That's just funny to me.
I don't care who you are. That's just funny.
That's just funny. All right, and then with Chad back, I will do the same thing, and I shall return. We'll talk more car shit.
Car stuff. That's not fun. Oh, where were we? What was the, God, there's a movie where it was like they were talking about a pile of garbage, and at the bottom of the big pile of garbage was another, I don't know. Steve goes, I'm going to call it early. I got to clean up downstairs because my landlord is having a realtor show up tomorrow. Just invite Sean over. I'm sure he'll find some cool stuff. Sean goes, Tech Jesus smiled down him. Oh, I didn't transition the scenes. Noob mistake. That's, I don't know if we're, Greg goes. Greg is yelling at me for not changing the feed. At any rate, good night, Steve. At any rate, Doug goes, and of course, Doug is the one who remembers this. Goes, it's Alice's Restaurant by Ario Guthrie, classic Thanksgiving song. Thank you. I didn't realize there were Thanksgiving specific songs. Ouch. Fuck. Alrighty. I guess, seeing as how Sean has sort of ripped the Band-Aid off of this particular conversation, doesn't necessarily have to be garbage. But I want you guys to put in chat what your best, and we'll just call it one man's trash is another man's treasure, find. Because Sean is running laps around y'all. He not only found that MetaQuest, he found a whole host of technology and everything like that. In that tech hall or what have you. But he's also found 2 functioning Forerunners, although one is slightly rustier than the other. Yeah, so why don't you guys let me know? Tony, who is now over on YouTube, thank you for helping out both algorithms. He goes, unfortunately, YouTube better for me because I can pop out the window and still use my phone. Yes, it's basically when I pop out and want to keep an eye on what Greg's doing to make sure he's not talking nonsense, is what I use. YouTube was actually popping off at the beginning of the stream. It was pretty cool. Doug goes, did you not see the boat in my backyard? Now, is the boat an actual boat or one of your many land yachts? I'm sure I saw it, but I don't remember. I guess the best way to put that. But trying to think of it. Have I found? I mean, we used one of the. So when I had the C30, and we were trying to figure out the caster issue, I got a subframe from a junkyard. I'm trying to think what else. We had a bunch of stuff as like a kid and stuff growing up. Like I fixed a bike that someone had like set off on the side of the road. We used to have my cousins used to live like 4 or 5 houses down from me on the street I grew up on. Pretty cool old farmhouse, and they had this garage that was pretty freaking enormous. It was like a 3 or 4 car garage, and then they had enough space for like a decent sized 1-room apartment. And like they had like everything, road signs. They found furniture from the side of the road and stuff on there. I mean, this was damn near 30 years ago, but that was pool table. I think that someone had discarded. Pretty interesting, pretty cool. Tony goes, time to go reinstall X-Pipe so I can go to volleyball in the morning. Wagon is at the shop until Monday for wheel bearing. All right, man. Well, thanks. Always a pleasure to have you tune in. Good luck with the mods. Hopefully it goes a little smoother than your battery escapades did yesterday. Doug goes, 25-foot, 1983 Sea-Ray I saved from getting scrapped. I vaguely remember trying to think of where the boat was when I was out on your farm a few years ago. I don't remember. Anyway, let's see here. Sean continues. He goes, he found a PS4, a 4X, I'm guessing 4K, 4K TV, an Xbox 360 S with 320 gigabyte hard drive, intact, Netgear Nighthawk mesh system, whatever that is, and a late 80s police radio scanner. Now that's kind of cool. Police scanner. I feel like you could make good use of a police scanner if you don't already have one. Actually, I'd be kind of surprised if you didn't already have one. Sean goes, I'm going back Tuesday to collect about $500 worth of VCRs and an old Android tablet. And Tony goes, hopefully the X-Pipe is easier going back on than it is getting off. Generally they are, although the slip, I can't remember from the pictures you sent. It's not gaskets. Why am I blanking on the flanges? The flange ones should be relatively easy, and if you figure out a way to, like, obviously with the quick jack you don't have a transmission jack, but if you can keep it kind of parallel as you're trying to like put it in there, usually goes pretty easily. I would start with the catted side just because it looks like it has a more, we'll just say male to female connection, because I'm blanking on the actual name for it, and nobody wants to sit here and see the hamster inside here spin trying to figure it out. Doug apparently sent me a picture of the boat. Doug's boat. Oh, okay. I mean, it's pretty interesting that was going to be scrapped. I'm guessing it needs electronics and all that stuff. Although, when it comes to boats, I don't know the first thing about them. If I'm being perfectly honest. Because I'm not really a boat person. But, I mean, if that was a free 99 find, like, that's a hell of a free 99 find, if you get me. Tony goes, I'll probably keep listening, so don't talk too much shit about me. Not really much to do. I mean, you're working on your car. Although one of the running jokes is how long it takes Greg to take the wheels off of his car, because he tried to do it on stream a few years ago, and it was pretty fucking. Someone did not put anti-seize on it, and those wheels did not want to come off. Doug on the boat, it says the motor is shot, but it is a 350 Chevy. It's the only small block Chevy I own. Now, see, I thought you'd have a lot more old engines. Although, I don't know. I could have swore you had other V8 Chevys there. Dusty goes, up here being Alaska, if you weren't here earlier, goes, we call those skiff or bayliners. Yes. It is a boat, and it has a V8 in it, so winning. Sean goes, people give away boats all the time in my experience. That is something I absolutely would expect something Sean to say. Kind of surprised you don't have like a random boat lying around on your property. Doug goes, I have lots of old engines, lots of FE4s, AMC blocks, Volvo motors. Sean goes, Volvo swapped the boat. Sean, you should, there we go. That's what you should take the red block and put it into when you put the 5.3 in Timmy. I feel like that is a perfect mesh of interesting engine for Doug to have in a boat and a good home for the red block. Sean goes, give me some time. I'll have one at some point. Who knows? It might be under the next pile of garbage you look under. We don't know.
Yeah. No, he'll just find more MetaQuests.
Yeah. Doug goes, free boats are a ripoff. It's fun to play with, but cheaper to buy working ones. Yeah, I can kind of get that. I'm going to take your word for it because I have no experience and cannot accurately say with any sort of level of expertise one way or the other on that. Doug also continues, Volvo used red blocks in boats. This is beginning to make more and more sense. I'm just saying. Who knows? Maybe you find another red block and you have dual motors.
Red boats.
I mean, shoot. Hopefully come like June or July, I can give you a slightly wounded Coyote short block.
There you go.
That'll be the first Shifting Lanes giveaway, is a slightly wounded, you're definitely going to have to send this to a machine shop, 3rd gen Coyote short block.
It's just a shit kicker engine. Like, here you go.
Here you go. Here's $15,000 in machine work.
Yeah. Enjoy this paperweight.
Although, depending on the damage to the cylinder wall, you probably could get away with... Shouldn't say probably. You might be able to get away with just honing it or taking like maybe 20 thou out of it. At any rate. Greg.
Me.
What is your, if you can think of it off the top of your head, because I can't.
A dream boat?
I mean, we could go there. Some would consider you to be a dream boat.
Also, I like the non-burn put up. Very nice.
I got to keep you on your toes, man. I got to keep you. If it's a burn after a burn after a burn, you get numb to it. Then you stop paying attention. But if every now and again I weave in a little bit of a compliment,
that's right.
You're like, oh, this could be this. Oh, this could be. Oh,
yes.
This is going to be another one. Here it comes. But, hold on, that was nice.
This is the start of the 2 put-ups you owe me. And we're back to normal.
So, but we were talking about, and how we got on the topic of boats was, what is your best one man's trash is another man's treasure find?
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
And while you think about it, I'll talk to Chad.
Yeah.
Sean goes, I'm giving the VR a break, letting it charge up to make sure the battery is actually good, considering it's been sitting for at least a year. The more you explain it, the more, like, don't put that on your face. Like, Doug goes, sounds like another free boat. Dusty goes, I'd replace another small block Chevy and extend about 3 feet. I mean, that's probably the sensible thing to do. That was mostly me. I don't know how much of our show you've actually watched, and I apologize if this is not your first time viewing experience. But Sean is putting a 5.3 LS into his Volvo in a few years. With the Volvo engine that he currently has, he wants to put into something else that I vehemently disagree with. Foot is down on that one. But it's okay because it's Car Enthusiasm and it's his stuff, so do whatever the hell you want. And I do apologize because it is something of an inside joke. But hell, a 350 small block that Doug somehow... I mean, it's Doug, so he could probably miraculously almost materialize out of almost thin air a heads and cam package for it. To make a little more power. But, yeah. Doug goes, Sean is enjoying Dreamboats in 3D. If he goes quiet for a few minutes. Sean goes, it's been cleaned with 91% rubbing alcohol, Dawn power wash. Straps were rinsed in vinegar and soaked in biz bleach. Anything living isn't anymore. I mean, did you take it apart and clean it? Because, like, this... At any rate, let's get off of Sean's incoming pink eye. Greg, I saw you have a moment of clarity.
I do, yes. So my greatest one man's trash is another man's treasure is my kitchen table, because it's very clear that when we bought it, the table aspect of it that you eat off of is definitely the top of a giant spool. So, one of those giant wooden spools that either power lines come on or whatever. Like you can kind of put two and two together and be like, yes, I know that shape, and I know only where this comes from. So it's like, oh yeah, giant wooden spool that usually would not be very useful in any other capacity other than reclaimed wood, lopping off of the spool aspect and using the ends of said spool to make a kitchen table that looks pretty awesome. Yep, that is it. We bought it from a furniture place, and I'm just like, is that a spool? They're like, no. I was like, sold. But it looks pretty dope, to be honest. It's nice wood. So I was like, yeah, whatever. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
I mean, I've made coffee tables and end tables and stuff out of like old pallet wood.
Yeah, right. And sometimes when you freaking,
so I would like to sell you
nice.
an end table for an astronomical amount of money compared to what the materials actually cost.
That's right. Oh, well, you just described the entire furniture industry. What is furniture? Some wood, some stuffing, some potential memory foam, and some cloth. And those things on their own are not expensive. But, and here's the but, when you when you have professions that are more of the blue collar persuasion, and you know how to build shit, well, tradesmen are they make cool stuff that we need and use every day. So yeah, it costs money. It costs more money. So I mean, you make cool stuff and you put your hours and work into it, you should be paid, appropriate to the time and effort you put into it. So $10 worth of materials, it still gets laddered up to $1,000 or whatever. It's like, well, that's the perceived cost of that. And if it took that amount of man hours to make it, commensurate to $1,000, then so be it. The end. Also, I want to see this end table. And how can I not pay you for it and steal it instead?
It's actually a good question because I gotta find it because it's been like 3 years.
How do you lose an end table?
Because it never actually made its way to my house. It was literally something I built when I worked at the golf course.
Looked off camera, and I'm like, wait, are you not looking at it? You're literally looking off camera.
Well, no, so this is how my brain worked in this particular moment in time. So you're going to get an inside look at the inner workings of this. So everyone just sort of brace yourselves for...
I'm gone. Mute.
At the same time, or directly after I made that end table and one other table, that was what inspired me to build my TV stand, which is right over there.
Got it.
Over there. So I looked at it, thinking that if I looked at it, it would jog my memory. It, in fact, did not.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Hold on one second. Just need to mock Sean for a moment.
As you do.
Okay. Anywho. Let's see here.
You said you wanted to talk about something about Corvettes.
Yes. Let me just touch base with our favorite Alaskan and favorite West Virginian real quick.
Sorry, hang on. Oh. All right. I need to. Sorry, I need to be right back again. So just do that.
Set Kate in. I'll let her in on the Polestar plane.
You do the thing, and then we'll talk Corvettes when I'm back. Sorry.
Let's see here. Sean goes, we have a wood crib for the firewood. Wood crib for the firewood. That's made out of 17 pallets. How big is this? Wait, hold on. Are you talking wood crib, like a crib that a child would be sleeping in? Or like crib, as in like your house? 17, because 17 pallets seems ridiculous for a crib. Anywho, Dusty goes, those are the reuse of spools. Amazing storage in the center, 100%. Sean goes, about to say porridge. The porch of my camper is also made from big pallets. I mean, that tracks. Oh, man, that comes with age. Whew. But yeah, like, I will say this. That TV stand is awesome. I love the way it came out. When we move, it's going to be an absolute bear. Like, I went full on to Toyota in the 90s engine philosophy on it. It is stout. Like, I'm pretty sure you could park a car on top of it. Sean goes, so it's literally a crib for wood. He goes, it holds firewood outside, off the ground, and covered. It's the first time I've ever heard it call that. Although, to be fair, I think we've always just referred to that stuff as like the wood pile or the covered wood pile or what have you. Who's sending me? What? Yeah, never mind. I know what that is. Oh, shit. Oh, damn it. What else did I want to say? Totally forgot. Anywho, Sean, since your quest find has been such a great topic, will that work in Forza? Because that could be pretty dope. That would make it really dope. Although I think you said you need a cable for it. But a cord rack. Now, are we talking about... I think I know what you're talking about, Dusty. But are we talking like cord, the measurement of firewood, and a rack to, say, place about a cord of wood on? Or is it a rack made out of pallets that you put cords on? Like I said, I think it's the former. But you know what your mother said, or our mother said about assuming, right? Of course, that is the most Sean response to that question I could have possibly ever thought of. Forza doesn't natively support VR. However, you can make it work. I.e., Sean's going to find some West Virginia gypsy way of making that thing work. Yeah, the wood. I figured as much, Dusty. What am I should just close that. Open this one. Oh, damn it. Dang it. Oh, shit. But yeah, like back in the day when we still had access to the shop at the golf course I worked at, we used to make all sorts of stuff out of old pallet wood. My friend's big thing was like doing flags, but she was a really good artist, so she'd just take planks of pallet wood. Me and her now husband would cut it up into shapes, and she'd make like Christmas themed stuff or snowman stuff for winter, fall themed stuff. Like, it was pretty cool. It really ignited my interest in woodworking again. And then of course I left the golf course, and I don't have any space where I currently live to do any sort of woodworking of any kind, which is why I'm hopeful that this year goes well. And well, actually twofold. That's why I'm hopeful this year when we move, I have a workspace for not only the car, for not only storing car parts or what have you, but have something that I can do like woodworking or other sort of like DIY stuff. Because I do miss doing that stuff. And there is something about looking at a pile of wood and then insert whatever length of time you would like here and having it come out as something completely different. Because I would like to completely DIY a studio for this show. Custom table, custom shelving, custom backdrop, but all built. It could look like an office to the untrained eye, but it's all built with the idea of creating content. So, it would have provisions for backlighting. It would have, let's just say I wanted to put like an LED light strip on the shelves and have them, whatever, colors or what have you. And everything, and have a space, because as much as I enjoy doing the show and everything, and we're not going to stop, right? Like it's a ton of fun. Nights like earlier on tonight, we were some of our highest YouTube concurrence. Excuse me. It's a lot of fun doing this, and I want a more professional backdrop than my kitchen. Pretty simple. Let's see. Sean goes, drawer handles need to be bent. Drawer handles need to be bent connecting rods. Well, that's the other thing. So I jokingly mentioned about sending the wounded motor in the Mustang to Doug. I would kind of like, I don't know how I would figure it out, but I would kind of like to do the Top Gear thing of a no longer working engine and a glass tabletop being sort of the coffee table in the studio setup, because like that to me would be really, really cool for two things. Number one, I just think it's a cool piece of furniture. Number two, I think it would be really cool because it's literally one of my engines. So like,
Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. We're all a little disappointed you came back and not Kate.
I mean, that's the usual. So
it's like, oh, it's that Mate. Okay.
Hey, welcome back. Shit.
So, what was I going to say? Like I said, it would be a cool thing to have because, again, it is one of my engines. It's not like I just went out and bought something because it was cool. It would be, again, one of my... it'd be an engine out of one of my cars and a cool talking point and, like, an excuse for me to explain why the new engine is bigger, fatter.
More badass.
Yes, in fact. To use an old phrase we use to title a lot of my engine videos.
The most insane.
No, you remember the original tagline for my engine videos was, "This is the most badass blah 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 you've probably never heard of."
Yes.
And then through our conversations, they're like, "Yeah, we don't know how that's playing in the algorithm, and we don't know how it's playing with advertising and stuff. So let's not swear." Yeah. Ass is not a swear word, although I'm guessing if Greg heard his boys say it, he wouldn't be a pleased father, or he'd probably laugh and look at his wife and be like, "Okay, boys, you probably shouldn't say that."
That one.
Dusty goes, I'm working on to start up my own thing like that with reclaimed wood and indigenous artwork and hunting implements. That sounds pretty freaking dope. If you do get that started, DM us with your progress, because that's really, really cool. And like, not for nothing, like the last American frontier, whatever, of Alaska, and I'm not saying that in a mocking tone, even though it absolutely sounded like I was. There's a lot of that cool stuff out there, or what have you. So, like, looking forward to see what you do with that. Sean goes, Greg, I've never seen Kate. Does she exist? Yes, she's actually made brief but momentary appearances on this show.
Yes, she does exist. Chad can confirm he was there for the wedding.
So, you're like, Chad, could you be our videographer? Like, okay, here's cell phone footage.
Yeah. I forgot the GoPro. Can you just film it? Thanks. Yeah, she was like, yay.
Still to this day, the best lamb chops and mashed potatoes I've ever had.
Oh my God. I'll tell you that was That was one of the best meals I think I've ever had, and it's probably the best wedding food I've ever had. Because if
Hands
anyone
down,
knows,
the best wedding food I have ever had. Wedding
and
food is usually a solid like 6.5 or 7 at the
yeah, like
best.
it's okay, and some of
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this shit is good.
Yeah.
That I like, and look, I knew we were gonna have good food, but I came in with like tempered expectations. Like, it's wedding food. They're serving it en masse. You know, they're making it en masse. It's not going to be good. It was a fucking gourmet meal, and I'm like, holy shit, this is one of the best meals I've ever had. And it wasn't just like, oh, this is my wedding night. I'm like glazy eyed. Like, no, it was legitimately a good ass meal. I was very surprised.
Yeah. I drive by that quite a bit now in the day job.
Yeah,
Because one of my clients works down 22.
nice.
So I drive past.
They closed their restaurant for a while, and then they just reopened it a couple of months ago.
Fantastic. I'll have to take my non-existent girlfriend there.
Honestly, worth it just going by yourself to sit at the bar, because the bar is dope. They have a shit ton of whiskey and single malts and delicious stuff, and you can order anything off the menu at the bar.
Nice.
Very much worth it. In fact, let's meet there and have a delicious meal at the bar with whiskey.
Yes. I mean, fuck my
Yeah.
one of my good buddies, a cod bro, if you will. He works at the we'll just say adult beverage store not too far from there.
Oh, nice.
Sean goes, Greg could have just gone to take the Browns to the Super Bowl for all I know.
And we're the Cleveland Browns. Please tell me you know that
Super Bowl.
series.
No.
Oh my god. Oh, I have to introduce you to that guy. It is the best. It's the guy's been doing content for a while, but it's all NFL based. And he's made the Cleveland Browns this affable character where it's just like, all right, we're the Lions and we're coming in. We're going to beat the Cleveland Browns today. And we're the Cleveland Browns. And he's just got jerseys of each team. And
okay. So he's like a bench warmer brand.
Yeah, but it's really good.
I've always
just a guy.
I've wanted
so
to do
dude.
Car style content with that or motorsport style,
dude,
but it takes
that.
so much effort.
Yeah, it's a lot of scripting
because you have to script out every person's part.
Yes.
And then either you do the Seth MacFarlane method of recording each line from each character until you're done, or recording all of the lines from each individual character and like that, like, oh. It's actually an incredible talent to be able to do that.
It is.
The people who can do that and like keep it like you almost forget it's the same person doing every bit because of their reactions and how it seems natural. That's massive talent.
It's tough.
Update from Tony's Garage. The X-Pipe was much easier going back on, and it'll be easier to get it back on. Easier to get back on now because I know how to do it, and it isn't old and seized together. Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you think it was hard getting off with the exhaust flanges, wait till you have to try to take off the new X-Pipe if it's using slip joiners or slip fit, because they almost become one. Like, it is. When we were separating the bad part of the exhaust from my X-Pipe for the Mustang, in the pile of parts, it took some serious effort to do that. Dusty goes, well, dude, it's not easy doing a startup thing like that without a good following. True. Especially in rural Alaska. Also true. But I will say this, it takes one, with that sort of stuff, it takes like one client. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy's stuff.
Okay,
now I know who this is.
Yeah. And we're the Cleveland Browns. It's like it's honestly my favorite series on the internet. It's so funny. I fucking love it.
So
punts.
Oh my gosh. Doug goes, I know it, Greg. He's funny.
Yeah.
And I don't even follow football.
Yeah. I'm so out of the loop on football. Like, I do like a couple things here and there, but like I used to be so into it with like fantasy and blah blah blah. Like now I'm just like
I just got
barely
I
even
just got
watch it.
I just got a memory from back when I was the commissioner of our fantasy league, and I was like, "Fuck!" I said it was legit, and then
Yeah.
like, I was like, "Man, this sucked all of the enjoyment out of it, though." Then like we just
Yeah, I really did.
it would be nice to do like a get the gang back together and do like a
Yes. That
what's
would be
the
fun.
unalive pool that they call that's more PC?
Yes. Survivor pool.
There it is.
Yes.
Sort
There.
of flip that
It's
one
like
on its head.
it's another S word, but I can't remember it right now. But there it is.
But let's see here. Sean goes, just an FYI to Dusty and Doug, y'all's most recent comments were hidden for some reason, and I cannot unhide them. I have no idea, Sean.
It's probably because there's keywords in them that were hidden automatically by either YouTube or Facebook or Streamlabs. That's probably why. It's probably a swear and or something. So don't read too deep into it.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. We're the Cleveland brand.
That's whatever. It's the internet. Internets are going to be internets, and internets are going to be things about the internet.
interwebs is interwebsing.
And lastly, because I think this is a good transition, another update from Tony's Garage and his Corvette.
Yes.
Hopefully, I never have to take the new one off. It required significant hammering to get the stock one off. True. And I don't see the state on which you currently residing changing in the near future. So it's not like 2 years down the road you're in a different state and it's time to put some long tubes on it. And you live in a state that's pretty good for not pretty good, damn good for not a lot of rust. So should be okay. He got the new one shipped to Arizona, and he's going to to Kyle in Arizona. Way to go, Kyle. And he's going to forward it to him. I expect that to be a week or more, though, and I need a garage for the BMW, so I had to put the stock one back on. I mean, everything you were installing was after the O2 sensors, so technically you could have just moved your Corvette around without it. I mean, your neighbors would have may or may not have had thoughts on it. But you're a much more thorough individual than I am. But speaking of Corvettes, I did a reel on their in case you didn't see the news, GM is developing a new family of small block V8s. One of them is going to be 409 cubic inches. That is, if you speak metric leaf water, 6.7 liters. For obvious reasons, we're not going to talk about the 6.7 liter. We're just moving on. 409 cubic inches, push rod V8. Stop it.
I have kids. This literally happens like 8 times a day to me.
And I mean, if they were getting 490 horsepower out of the LT2, and they're calling it the LS6 because they have 17 other LS6s. Why not make their incredibly confusing line of engines confusing?
Why? Okay.
So,
whatever.
But for all intents and purposes, this new engine is supposed to be going in one of the worst kept secrets, which is probably going to be the new iteration of Grand Sport Corvette. And given the horsepower they got out of the LT2 pushrod V8, which is 490, 6.7 liters, a little hotter head. Move on. 600 horsepower out of that shouldn't be a problem. Although I have a sneaking suspicion they may detune it so it doesn't get too close to the Z06, assuming that Grand Sports usually share a shit ton with the Z06s.
Yeah, but it's usually like exhaust and body kit. It's usually like thoroughly underpowered for obvious reasons.
Well, a lot of times the Grand Sport is the Z06 suspension package, the body kit.
Yeah.
In the C6, it was a steel frame, not the aluminum frame like the Z06 got. In the C7, it was the regular 6.2 that came in the Stingray, but with all of the Z06 body and suspension goodies. So you can imagine that you're at least going to get the body of the C8 Z06, and some suspension componentry, and it's probably going to be a little heavier just because that's the nature of the Grand Sports, or at least the C6, 7. Now we're into the 8. But I think Corvette, I think, number one, we've said it a million times on this show, when the cubic inches of a given engine starts with a 4, you have my attention.
Yeah.
That is just cool. That is the old school American way of making more horsepower, not with boost, not with adding cams, nothing. Just making the engine bigger and letting the Europeans deal with it.
Yes. Size does matter. Take this. For numbers.
And there's just something really intoxicating about taking an old school push rod American V8 and just, that's what made, in my estimation, the C8s are special in their own right, but like the C7, the C6 specifically, and even the C5 to be honest, because they basically are all the same underneath the body. What made those special is that we were taking it to the best the world had to offer, and that engine is. So now we're getting a high performance version of an engine that has 409 cubic inches, and they're putting it in the C8 Corvettes, giving it, that American soundtrack, if you will. But here's the thing about it. As many of you know, a certain transmission company, not that long ago, announced they have made a brand new manual transmission. And this manual transmission is of note because it is roughly the same size, almost the same size, except for a few little areas. The same mounting points as the dual clutch transmission that currently comes in the C8 Corvettes and GTD Mustangs. So, theoretically, the Grand Sport with the 409 cubic inch All-American V8 with the proper soundtrack wouldn't take much effort, assuming they could figure out the linkages and stuff, with a manual transmission. And that would be the ultimate C8 Corvette. Hands down.
Yeah, I do not disagree with that, because if you can get a mid-engine manual transmission car, period, right now, you can sign me up pretty much the day it happens. Let me ask a question. Is there a modern manual V8 in the last 5 or 10 years that's mid-mounted that is a manual transmission? I don't think that exists.
I mean, are we considering what that wizardry that Koenigsegg did?
No, that doesn't count. Like an actual manual transmission. No. That's very cool, but that's not a manual transmission.
That's the only thing I can think of. I'm sure there's got to, no?
I don't think so.
No, but I mean,
everything mid-mount is from Europe, and they've all gone to either, I'm sure, some form of dual clutch, sequential, or whatever. There are no more manual mid-mounted engine at all. Like, that would be the only one. And I mean, if that's the only one, I would venture a guess that people are going to want to buy the shit out of that. Especially because...
Oh, I think it would be... I mean, what were the last... I think it was the case... I know... The C7 Corvette, by the time it went out of production, the Grand Sport was the best-selling version of it. It's either the C7 or the C6.
I think it was the C6, because the C6 was the one where it was like, okay, cool. The Z06 happened, and then the Grand Sport came out, and they basically stopped making the Z51 package, or the regular one. Like I think in the last year, I want to say it was 2013. I think the last year of production was like they made like 500 regulars, and they made like 28,000 or something like Grand Sports. It was like an absurd number.
I think if they did that engine with a manual box, it would probably be the only thing that they would have to worry about is would it cannibalize sales of like the Z06?
I mean, I don't think so because the Z06 is still small batch comparatively. The Grand Sport would be much more mainstream.
If the Grand Sport gives you, we'll just call it similar horsepower.
Yeah.
And the
because what does the Z06 make?
It's like 660-ish horsepower.
And what does the base make? It's like what, 490?
490.
Yeah. I think if they put it at 525 or 550, it won't cannibalize anything because it's just enough over the base to be like, you should buy this. But it's not enough to be like, this is actually a performance alternative with a manual to the Z06. Yeah. Because if they make it like 600 plus, like, I would consider going with the manual and being like, well, I don't really need the Z06 anymore.
Right.
But if they put a 5 in the first digit, I think that would actually make it a better proposition.
It would have to be at minimum 580 horsepower because that would put it smack in the middle, like literally smack in the middle. 490 on the base, 670 on the Z06.
Yeah.
Good night, Doug. Appreciate, as always, having you on the show. Love you, brother. Because here's the thing. That LT2, you are a cam and very light headwork away from being able to make 520, 530 horsepower.
Yeah.
With ease. Like, I'm
basically
not even talking
nothing.
like a hog can. None of that. You are very close to that. So what's the point of adding 500? What is the sense of adding all of that cubic inches if you're not making all that much more power?
Yeah, true.
So, at any rate, I do want to touch on chat because there's some good conversation happening there. Tony goes, I like NA horsepower per liter, cubic inch, I think he meant to say, rather than just big NA cubic inches. I need an S2000. I mean, when the S3000 came out, it was the most powerful per cubic inch engine in the world, more than a Ferrari. And because you said that, this gives me an opportunity to say, well then, sir, come on over to the world of the Coyote. You'll like it here.
There you go.
The Gen 4 Coyote that's in the Dark Horse, so a Ford factory product that is in a OEM car, unmodified, makes 100 horsepower per liter, which is impressive. Also, going back, Texas Speed makes a 7-liter, or makes a version of the LS7 that makes nearly 700 horsepower. So big cubic inches, big horsepower. And then on that note, like, we're very much in line because, as I've told anyone who would listen, probably to the point of annoyance, we are going for 600 horsepower out of 300 and, I guess, technically 7 inches. I did do the research recently. The Gen 3 version of the Coyote is actually 307 cubic inches, not 302. Coyote-tism.
What kind of tism do you have? Coyote. The animal? No. We're going to have a much deeper conversation than this.
Yes to that, Anthony. Yes, 100%. Do it. Sean continues with the old 5.3 SI. I think he meant small block. I don't know. At any rate, is 327 cubic inches, which sounds way more impressive than 5.3 liters. Yes. And Tony, the C7 with the stuff I've done to it is sneaking up on 90 horsepower per liter. So I'm getting up there even with big displacement. I mean, yeah, with So if we keep it in the LT family of engines, the only thing the LT engine doesn't do as well as the LS is it doesn't flow drops. Meaning, if you add port injection on the crazy horsepower builds in drag racing, the heads aren't ideally suited for that. However, when they're just flowing air, because it's a direct injection engine, when they're just flowing air, they flow actually fairly decent. And with even a mild port, they can make some huge horsepower gains. So there's a world where you could pretty easily make 620 horsepower out of that engine. It may not be California.
Right.
But there's a world for that.
Yeah.
So he goes, Chevy's going to do that, talking about the next generation Grand Sport with the manual transmission. That's what I'm saying. Like, Tremec already came out with this transmission. Tremec already makes the dual clutch transmission for the C8. Just sort of like, it's 1 + 1 = 3 in that particular scenario. We're going to miss Doug. Sean goes, I'm still mad Honda never made their V8 with VTEC. Why would you have VTEC on a boat engine?
I mean, either way, it would still be like just cool. Just random. It's a random technology to put on a V8.
Well,
I would love to see it just for the weirdness factor.
I mean, a couple of things. Hellcat engine has variable valve timing from a pushrod V8.
Well,
the thing looks goofy as hell, but it does have it.
Yes.
And if you want to see VTEC on a V8,
slap 2 K motors together.
Or, and say it with me, chat, because you know what the answer is going to be. Starts with the C, ends with an E. The Coyote has the head design and the cam design and the variable valve system in the Coyote has by a lot of people has been compared to Honda heads and VTEC. Granted, I'm pretty sure the way they achieve variable valve timing is different than VTEC, although they're both oil. But at any rate, it's similar. But if you want a dual overhead cam V8 with variable valve timing, there you go.
Coyote.
Sean's also hopping off. Thank you for sticking around, my buddy. And then Anthony goes, I do like the Coyote. Coyote swap to C7? Yes. If it will fit between the frame rails, and you can still have, the good thing about Coyote long tube headers is they're very compact. Like, they don't not like picturing like long tubes on a small block where they come out and they're around and everything like that. They're very compact and up against the head and in that negative space between the heads and the block. So as long as you can fit like the steering rack and stuff through it, I don't know enough about the C7s to know if they're hydraulic or electric steering. I want to say hydraulic, but I could be wrong. I'm often wrong. That would be a cool swap. There is actually a guy Coyote swapping a C6 ZR1. The ZR1 was in an accident and the engine was cooked. Before you think blasphemy and everything like that. And the last 2 comments of the evening, not GM related, but apparently BMW is now BMW Alpina. Yes, it is. Couldn't care less. The Alpinas are always cool. I have a sneaking suspicion that Greg appreciates and likes Alpina more than I do. Alpina is like, yeah, they're kind of good. They used to make some cool stuff back in the day, but like they're a tuning house that's more tuning luxury. It is what it is. Conversation for another day. Greg?
Alpina.
Alpina, do you like them or not?
I do, just because it's like, light coach work, because it's kind of nice in that sense. But it's so BMW is not BMW Alpina. BMW just bought outright Alpina, and it's now Alpina, but BMW owned essentially. I need to dive into it more, but it's not BMW is not changing its name to BMW Alpina. That's not a thing. They wouldn't. And if they are doing that, and I've read it completely wrong, that's a horrible, horrible mistake. But I will look into that for next week's show.
At any rate, I do want to thank everyone for tuning in. I know a lot of the people who were on here earlier over on YouTube have since left. Bastards. But Tony, thank you for holding down the tube of the U's. To everyone who's commented, shared, all that sort of stuff, thank you. And without further ado, Greg, you've had 2 weeks and ample time with the family to prepare for this.
And a new year.
You've literally had all year to plan for this.
All years. But wait, that's only 2 days.
Anthony goes, it's confusing that we have Alpina and Alpine. It is, except if you just eliminate the French side of it, it becomes much simpler and easier to understand.
Even more confusing that it's Alpina and Alpine. And that's not even Alpine. It's Alpina and Alpine. It's the The only thing is different is the which makes it even weirder. And I'm like, stop. Just stop.
I don't know, something about the German vacation and then passing off in the 1940s and passing off pronunciation of crap. Yeah, Greg, your dad advice of the week, go.
Yes, dad advice of the week. It's a new year. You have a new slate. You have an entire year's worth. Well, not anymore because it's the second. But you have essentially an entire year's worth of new, fun, exciting things to do. And I specifically wanted to mention this at the New Year because it's cool. There's a great line from what's Black? The movie? No, Louis Black, great comedian though. No, it's from Night at the Museum, and it's right at the end when Ben Stiller is talking to Robin Williams and I think it's Robin Williams was Teddy Roosevelt in those movies, where Ben Stiller was like, I don't know what I am doing tomorrow, and Robin Williams goes, how exciting! Like what an amazing, cool way to look at life is, when you don't know what you're doing tomorrow, to just look at it with like excitement and not, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. That sucks. Or it's like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. How exciting. So with a new year, grab the bull by the horns and really just dive into something that you have always wanted to do. You have a fresh, clean slate. And if don't wait. Now is the time to do it. Go do the thing you wanted to do. Take the risk. Enjoy life, have fun, and just make 2026 your best year. That's what I got.
Absolutely. Just remember, just because you don't know what you're going to do doesn't mean it's not an opportunity. So
that's right.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much. But for this one, we're out.